Showtime.
Hey folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, our resident millennial and neckbeard extraordinaire. John, how are you doing this evening?
Fantastic as always. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for asking. Thank you for caring, in fact.
Fantastic, not mantastic.
No, not today.
You don't want to,
Tomorrow I'll be fantastic, but
to,
today, just fantastic.
now what separates tomorrow from today when it comes to your mantasticness, John?
Well, I'm going to be manly tomorrow. I'm going to be eating chili and drinking beer and other liquors, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Oh, is that thing going on tomorrow?
Yeah,
Are we still doing
chili
that?
cook-off. I'm doing that.
Because
I believe you're invited.
I believe
So,
I was. I don't know what time I have to be there.
12:30.
12:30. Shit.
12:30. Yeah.
I may not make that because I'm going to be in Mount Dora tomorrow.
Well, it's going to be going until 5, so.
Well, it's getting there. So getting there is half the battle.
Yeah.
Lawson was well. We definitely then that means we won't be doing gaming tomorrow.
I believe Tenchi is going to be running a one-shot, so.
Oh, are you the only one not going to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's typical. All right,
See,
now it
even
all
Cameron
makes
said
sense.
he sure is. Damn right. See, Cameron knows. Hell yeah.
See, that's see you sacrifice multiple people to appease one.
Me, right. You gotta look out for number one,
No,
right?
no.
Oh, 2 o'clock, says Cameron. There you go.
Oh, 2 o'clock.
Midget B in the house. Haven't seen him in a while. I miss being called a cunt. But there he is to, appease my needs.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
watch the language. Watch the language.
What? I was speaking English.
There may be a lady present.
Probably not. Not around here.
Hey, if we can get that beard
Yeah.
shaved off of you, there will be a lady present. So, John, tell them how can they get that beard off your
Yes.
face and when?
This beard is up for grabs on our Friday, December 6th charity live stream, 12-hour live stream for Toys for Tots. If we reach our goal, I will be shaving the beard live on the air, completely too, not just like trimming it down. And get the whole thing is going to be gone. Mustache, neck beard, sideburns, everything.
So you're going
It's going to
real
be awesome.
deal, not that fancy stuff,
That's
that
right.
silly
I'm
stuff
going
they do for the commercials.
right. I'm going full baby face. It's going to be awesome. So that's the only way that it's going to happen. Otherwise, it's just going to keep getting longer and more luxurious as time goes
I
on.
would love to see that happen, and I have to say it would be a crowning achievement to reach that point. I
Would
believe
be.
that would be the perfect thing for the show. The only thing left to do is get you a banana.
For what? For what would I use this banana?
So you could relive one of your favorite moments from YouTube history. The
That
one
was a
moment
really good moment.
I've heard about so many times.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Was it?
The Banana Lord, he's called, yeah.
The Banana Lord. All praise the Banana Lord. Hey, just a quick reminder, folks, if you haven't done it yet, hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We like everybody to let us know how they're feeling, unless it's bad. And then we suggest you write it in an email. I like to get those by
Yes.
email because then I can digest them, really let the insults sink in. I think it's better that way.
Yes.
Um,
And if
so,
and if you write an email, I promise, this is my word is my bond. I promise that I will ignore it.
Now, see, there's a promise that I know you'll keep.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit here, John. We may be hooking up with another stream tonight, doing a little hookup
That's
action.
right,
Is that
yeah. We're
right?
supposed to multi-stream with Stephen Ignoramus tonight at about 9:45.
Good. It gets
So
me all tickly
stick
when I
around for
think
that.
about it.
That's right.
Dabbling in others' waters, as it were.
That's right. We're gonna mix our streams. I'm gonna cross the streams even.
So, John, we got a few things to talk about tonight.
Yes.
There's a couple of minor little bits here and there. I'm gonna I feel like I need to go off. I need to go ahead and get this
Ooh.
out of my system, but I don't know. I don't want to wait and let Steven chime in on this or not.
Oh no, we should. We gotta save that for last,
No,
for
no, it's
sure.
not DJT. I'm not talking about that.
No, no, no. I'm talking about. You said something about dims.
Oh, the
You want to
Democrat?
go off
Yeah,
on
yeah.
dims. So
Yeah. Leave it. I'm reaching that breaking point, John. I'm reaching that breaking point. You know,
yeah. So we've had you on the slow drip of the red pill for a while, and
but
it's finally taking.
but again, you know what it is. You know, it's not this. It's not about. It's not about. It's you know they're swinging me more right. It's not about that.
It is though.
It's
That's
more
exactly what it is.
no. It's more about the mockery they're making of our system. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it's about and this is and it's on both sides of the fence in this, but it's you know the driving force right now behind it is that's just really blasting it in people's faces and making it laughable to the rest of the world. The Democrats are the impetus behind it right now. I mean, you know, it's not to say that it hasn't happened before to other presidents, but right now it's really gotten to a point. And yeah, I'm feeling the need to just vent. I don't know. I just don't know.
Awesome.
So speaking, but to talk about Democrats for a moment, I will throw this out there. I don't know if you've heard the news about Michael Bloomberg.
No, I've not. Only of what you said.
Apparently, he's
So,
ramping up to enter the 2020 race.
right.
The impetus, Mr. Bloomberg, the former New York City mayor and billionaire businessman, has been privately weighing a bid for the White House for weeks and has not yet made a final decision on whether to run, one of his advisors said. But in the first sign that he is seriously moving towards a campaign, he's dispatched staffers to Alabama to gather signatures to qualify for the primary there. So he's putting the wheels in motion to go ahead and start looking at a bid for this. Now, I thought it was interesting that, you know, okay, here we have another businessman stepping up, but it's
Hmm.
he used to be mayor of New York, right? So immediately we know who he may or may not have points of contention with. I don't know because you know certain individuals are no longer as friendly in you know find New York such a friendly place, so much so that they're relocating to Florida. So but it was interesting that this information came out, and there was a response from said individual number one. He said about Mr. Bloomberg. What was it he said? And speaking to reporters, he said of the billionaire, "There is nobody I'd rather run against than Little Michael."
Mm.
Right there, I'm like, oh, you just had to go for that shot, did you?
Yeah.
You had to put something in there, some little something. You can't just say, and then he goes on, because that's not, right.
Sure.
He did say he said that Bloomberg doesn't have the magic to make it to the White House. He said he's not going to do well, but I think he's going to hurt Biden actually. Apparently he referred to him as a nothing and said that Mr. Bloomberg will fail if he joins the Democratic race. So, is that okay? I just have to ask you. I get shock and awe, 4D chess, whatever. But is that really? Did he need to take that shot? Was that necessary? Was it
Necessary? I don't know.
was it
It certainly sets him up to like take shots in the future. Should it become necessary? It kind of discredits Bloomberg just right away. Not like fully, obviously, but it just kind of gets people's mind already on anti-Bloomberg, right? So I mean, he's just setting up like, you know, if I need to take him down, here's my foot in the door, but I'm going to leave it alone for a little while. That's what it seems like, at least. I mean, but that's what he is. He's a New York shit talker. I mean, no
right?
one does it like people in New York. New York and Boston, I guess. But yeah, no one talks shit like them, and so that's just what he's doing.
Hey,
Just talking shit.
you've got the stream pulled up, right?
Yeah.
There may be a delay on it, but I'm going to pop. I want you to this. When you see Mr. President, I just I just want you to let me know. Does my skin look like that in the bright sunlight? This is what happens when you don't have your makeup artist around.
Oh,
All
what?
right. So his hair is
Is
not
that
going
wait?
gray.
Is that his old? Is that his O face? Like what?
That's his. That's it. Right. But look at that skin. I mean, is it
Yeah.
just me, or is that where it's telling for him the presidency is wearing on his skin as opposed to his hair turning gray? I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's that, and I think that putting years and years of makeup on all the time does do that to your skin. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not an expert in makeup, as we found out on Halloween.
I could see that. I could see that
Yeah,
being a thing. But yeah, it's evident that he doesn't have that because I've never seen his skin look that bad. But of course,
yeah,
the world's in high def 4K something whacked out now.
yeah,
Whatever next gen TV we're on.
yeah. I mean, nobody looks good in HD. You know,
No, no. If I wanted to see people in high definition, I'd go out of the house.
that's scary though. Why would
Right.
you do that?
Exactly. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, because a lot of times it's just not pleasant. But anyway, so I don't know, Michael Bloomberg. So, is this the time? Has Trump set the tone for it being the time of the businessman to finally take over in Washington? I
Mm,
mean, we're starting to see more players in this realm. Am I
I mean,
correct?
so maybe, but at the same time, he set the bar so high that not just anyone could go in. I don't mean set it high as in like he's doing exceptionally well, which I do think that he's done better than
Do
most
you mean
others.
from a
I
business
mean,
perspective?
no, what I mean is for like a performance perspective. How you're going to act, how you're going to portray yourself, and I know a lot of people don't like the way he does that, including
Right.
yourself, but it has had such a profound effect on like the U.S. and the world in general that you can't just be like, oh, well, I'm a businessman too, like Trump. Like, if you're going to compare yourself to Trump as a businessman, you got to compare yourself in all ways, and you're not going to be just live up to that.
Well, I don't think. Uh, well, I disagree from the standpoint of this. From the standpoint of policy, okay, that you can have ground to stand on and you can fight against.
Yeah.
But to counterbalance the rest of that, I want to I on a side note, I want to say that the profound impact that he has had on the world during his presidency is hard to qualify as good or bad. I mean, there are so many. It's so multifaceted in that respect,
Yeah.
right? But the way to counteract that part of his presidency is to be the anti-Trump. That is how you would counter it,
Yeah.
by being the moderated, level-headed person that can make the decisive, aggressive business decisions that need to be made, like they say he's making. Right? He's making aggressive decisions. He's doing 4D
Yeah,
chess.
but
Well, you can do that without being a dick.
yeah,
That's
but the
my
thing
point.
is, that's what got Trump the win. Was being the way that he is. People like it's entertainment basically.
Sure.
People don't want the bland, corporate suit standing up there. You know what I mean? They liked him not because he was a businessman, but because he was out there, because he was
Sure.
just speaking his mind,
Right.
and that is very rare in politics.
Right.
And so you can't just be like I said, you can't just be a corporate suit sitting up there.
No, but you
You've got to
can.
have a cult of personality, and Trump has that, and no one else does on that stage.
But you're mistaken in the idea that it has to lack decorum to be there.
No, I'm not saying it has to. What I'm saying is that no one else has that, regardless of whether
Well,
it's
no, but
lacking decorum or full of decorum.
but
There's no
but
Winston Churchill up there
you
either.
can't you can't present that in the Trump era. You can't present something like that if you're trying to get the non-Trump supporter to vote. Right? That's the thing. You can't you once you're in office, you can go that avenue. You can start to be a little more outgoing and a little more demonstrative. But right now, you've got to play the conservative card as far as that's concerned. You got to wear your feelings on your play them close to the vest.
I
Um,
don't know if that's a good idea for the Democrats to do, though.
well, I
I
mean,
mean, I think they need to be boisterous like he is. Otherwise, he's just going to crush each and every one of them as
sure.
they're going to line up to be crushed. I mean,
Sure, but you've seen what was her name? The blonde with the G.
Warren?
No, with the G that dropped
Oh.
out of the race.
Oh, Gillibrand.
Gillibrand. She was very
Yeah.
outspoken. Kamala Harris
Well,
is
she was cringy as fuck.
and Kamala Harris is outspoken and identity politics
Yeah,
and
but she's got
forceful in her
nothing.
talking and where is she going with it, right? She's not getting anywhere. The people that are
Well,
sad
see
to say
what
the
happened
people that
with
sound
Kamala
like they're
though.
talking business as
Yeah,
usual are the
but
ones that
what
are having an impact.
well, what happened with Kamala was that her past came back and bit her in the ass. And while the same thing could have happened with Trump, the Democrats really care about what you've done in the past.
Well, yeah.
So that has crushed her quite a bit.
Sure, and I get that, but she would have shot herself in
And
the
same
foot
with Biden.
with her identity politics. But like Bernie is the kind of outspoken that I'm talking about. Like he has
Right.
a demonstrative way of presenting things. He's passionate. He burns. He's got fire, and he's a spectacle when he speaks. In a sense, it's similar in the way that Donald Trump makes himself a spectacle to draw attention.
Hmm.
Bernie does that just by his gregarious nature, his looks, the whole, just how he is. Um,
Hmm.
but he holds a modicum of decorum when he, even in verbal back and forth, he doesn't get shitty so much. You know what I mean? I mean, he
Yeah.
may in cutting your argument out from under you if he can do it, but he's not. He's I don't know, his sideways insults and backhanded compliments and
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he already had his chance, and I think there's a lot of people who
yeah,
don't want to get behind him now
sure.
because he allowed the DNC to fuck him last time.
But this is all going to roll back to the Democrats shooting themselves in the foot overall over the last 2+ years anyway. So
The
that's
last 4 years,
which
yeah.
we'll rant about a little bit later. Now call the ball. I know this late in the race. I mean, Bloomberg's not Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton can step into the race and it's totes cool because we expected it,
It's
right?
totes cool, yeah.
Right?
Nice,
Um,
yeah. How do you
but
do, fellow kids? Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
but Bloomberg steps in. Now this is little Michael from New York, who New York is not so much my friend anymore. I don't really got a lot of love for them. But come on in the race, Mikey. You're going to hurt Biden if you do.
That's true.
So does Bloomberg stand a chance coming in this slate? Is it kind of like Midget B says, "I love when billionaires join after all the debates"?
Yeah.
Is this a calculated move that his name is going to carry the weight? He's going to play. Is he going to make a Trump move? Is that what he's trying to do?
Well, it seems like that's what he's trying to do, and that's what people are speculating Hillary's going to do. Is, once all the debates are over, she's going to jump in because obviously if she's on the stage for 0.5 seconds,
But again,
she's fucked.
we knew
Like,
we knew she was coming back into the race, so it's totes cool.
right.
But now
That's why I'm saying that she's just
this
going to try and
Bloomberg
glide
white guy, you know,
through.
can we have him? Does he stand a chance? I don't know. Will his money make the
Holy
difference?
shit. Could you imagine a Hillary Michelle Obama ticket?
That would
That
what?
that might get it.
Wow! I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare them. I dare them.
That
I bet.
might work. I don't know, man. That
No,
might
I
work.
tell you what. Would she pick Michelle Obama or would she pick Oprah?
Ooh, probably Michelle Obama because Oprah I don't think has any.
Mm,
I mean, you can't just pick Oprah, right? Oprah obviously has to agree to it, so that's the issue. I mean, I guess Oprah could always be threatened with suicide, but
well,
I doubt that would be a good idea.
Apparently, there was discussion about Oprah running for president. There
Yeah,
was
that was a
talk.
while ago, though.
Sure. So was
It hasn't been anything
Donald
recent.
Trump a while ago. Donald Trump talked about it for years too. I mean, it wasn't like the 2016. It was just all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, hey, I'll run for president." He
Yeah, I mean,
talked about it for a decade.
there was talk of Oprah, but she didn't say like,
Right. She
I'm
never
totally
really.
gonna do it, guys. Right.
But
So,
I mean, you want to talk about gaining the support of most of the women in this country? Put Oprah on your ticket.
Oprah, yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
Um, I
She's
don't
queen
care.
of females.
Right? I mean, that'll sway a hardcore female Trump supporter.
She is queen of all Karens
Um,
everywhere.
but so anyway, yeah or nay on Bloomberg? Is he pumping a dead fish here?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get anywhere. I mean, unless he comes with some kind of ridiculous shit out of nowhere, there's no way.
Well, if
There's
I'm
so many other names up there that people have already, basically decided on who they want.
um,
You got your different camps, right? You got your Tulsi camps, even your little Yang camps. You've
right.
got your Bernie camp, your Warren camp, even Biden, I guess, a little bit. I don't think anyone's really excited about Biden, though. So I don't know. But
The one of the things that was said was that he didn't. Bloomberg doesn't feel like the Democratic candidates have presented, are presenting the right kind of policy, right kind of action that America wants to see. They're not making the case for the Democrats ultimately. So somebody else needs to step into the race. Now, that with the shit show that's going on, he could be it would only one would get the opportunity to do that, right? Only one person could step into the race on that foundation and use that as launching. Am I correct? Where they say, "Oh, I'm coming in to save things because none of these Democrats are saying what needs to be said."
yeah, I think only
Right?
Hillary could pull that off.
Another Bloomberg could pull it off if he's the
I don't
first one,
think
but
so.
nobody could follow it, right?
I don't
Nobody.
even think so. I mean, outside of New York, he's not really a huge name.
He's Bloom. Isn't he Bloomberg magazine? Isn't that kind of they've been around for a piece now? I know it's probably a family thing, but still, that's kind of a thing, right? Yeah. You're familiar with Bloomberg magazine, John? John. Does anybody else see John as dead? Are we dead? John, what happened to you? Okay, John, looks like you've tapped out. If you can hear me, nod. And nothing. Okay, so anyway, let me bounce you and see if I can get you back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. I don't know what happened to John, unless it was me, but I'm still connected. Well, it could be worse, right? Or could it? Oh well. So it looks like we've lost John. Sorry, John. I don't know what happened to you. You went away from me. So anyway, did my volume go down after John left? Is that better? Anyway, I'll be watching for John to come back. I think I can. There he goes. He finally left the call. There we go. Well, let's see if he can join us. Anyway, how's that volume, Cameron? I don't know. I think it was down because the last I heard, my volume was always too high. Midget, I'm not frozen, right? Am I still coming through? Is this thing still on? It's still on. We just lost John. I wonder if his internet just crashed completely. I'm going to keep trying to connect with him. And you can watch, and it's fun. So, Midget, I did want to put it out there to you. Do you think Bloomberg has a chance at running at this? Is it pointless for him to jump in? I know that I know your comment about billionaires jumping in the race, but is it a worthwhile endeavor? I mean, it's a shit show already in the Democratic Party for all the candidates that they've thrown forward. All right. So I appear to have lost my co-host. So if anybody would like to join the show with me, just let me know. Either that or I'll just sit here and I'll keep going myself, waiting for Stephen Ignoramus to show up. Yeah, John's lost complete connection. Looks like he's coming in on his phone. I don't know if he knows how to connect by phone, though. But anyway, why not hop into the clown car? Exactly. So, you know, the clown car itself is it's kind of full, but it's weeding out. Is it? You know, I don't know. Is it going to depend on his policy? I mean, I don't think. Would he stand any better chance than Hillary? I don't know. I disagree with Hillary jumping in at the last minute. I think that's a shitty move. It's going to hurt him more than anything else. I don't think Bloomberg will, though. I think he'll just make a little splash and maybe some ripples, but outside of that, I don't think he'll have much impact on it. I have a feeling we know exactly what's going to happen in 2020 anyway. The man's going to get the race unless something happens that he just supremely screws up, like openly screws up. Not this bullshit that they're showing now. I don't think there's anybody the Democrats can throw at him that's going to change things. These people, too many people are comfortable in this entire country, across the entire country. They're just kind of become complacent. They're accepting of it. This is Trump. This is how it's going to be. Okay. Is that way? Did I see that? All right. Good. All right. So he had to reset his router. That's fun. Resetting routers is always fun. So anyway, so that's Michael Bloomberg for us. I don't know. I still want to say that I'm extremely bothered by that. That's a scary look to me. I would like somebody to please go ahead and take a screen grab of that. Maybe I will, and have fun with it. We could have a caption contest with that picture right there. So submit your entries, and we'll see where it goes. The other thing that I know John wanted to talk about Warren's meme team, which I find kind of interesting. That's potentially a thing, but hopefully he wants to rant about it. So I'm not gonna step on his toes with it. That wouldn't be very friendly of me. But when we get hooked up with Stephen, I don't know if anybody saw it. The interview with Donald Trump Jr., excuse me, on The View was quite interesting. Listening to him talk about Dad and trying to answer some hard questions. I'm sure it's been thrown out all over the media, but Nothing speaks louder than the video itself. So um, I think Stephen thought it was pretty interesting as well. Oh, everybody, YouTube. What happened? All right, John, come on. You know you can do it. When it's all said and done, you know, I don't know. Donald Trump Jr. is. I don't know that he's a good spokesperson for the president. So let's bear that in mind whenever we talk about that. Um, he he's starting to sound a lot more like his father, which is a little concerning to me. Anyway, Cameron, while I've got you here, are you seriously going to put together a nice little quiz show for us to do on Christmas? Are you going to be able to hook it up with the microphone and the camera to where we can get you pulled in and have some fun during the live stream? If so, let me know. Or do we need to? Does that need to be our Christmas present to you? Is figure out a way to get you a microphone and a camera to go with your laptop. Oh, here comes John. I think he's coming back in. Hold your horses, folks. Oh, his situation is out. Shit. So watch this. Let's pull him in by phone. Oh, no, he doesn't want to play on the phone. Watch, he's going to tell me no. All right, so anyway. He's kind of like you, Midget. I don't think he likes hopping on the phone. Yeah. He's gonna try. Oh, he only has 30% on his phone. No, poor guy. No router, no phone. Oh, hi, Ed. You're gonna pull me in by phone? Shit. I'll pull you in. Why don't you jump on this stream with me? Come on. Show me what you got by phone. Can you pull me by phone? I don't think you can pull me in by phone, can you? Would I have to pull you in by phone? I don't think it'll work that way. Yes. Yes, I agree, Midget. I completely agree. Yeah. Come on, Ed. Jump on in with me. It'll be fun. John could be gone for weeks. All right, I'll throw a call out to you. Not the studio lights. I don't want you to see. I don't want to see you in studio lights. That'll show the makeup. It, true hairlines. It does the whole thing. It's scary. Midget, you want to jump on too? Come on, it'll be fun. You can make it unlame. You can be the guy that makes it unlame. John's internet is a boomer. I get that. No, it's not funny. Ed, how are you doing, sir?
Robert, hi.
How are you doing tonight, sir?
Good. Did we lose your co-host? Is that what happened?
Yeah, something's up with his router.
All right, let me put the good camera on.
Not the good camera. Is that the high def camera?
Yep. All right. How's that looking?
Oh, looks like you. It's
Looks like I got a messy ass desk, so.
I can't even see your desk. Nobody can see your desk. Do you have a desk?
Ah,
I see glass.
I do.
All I see is
Yeah.
glass. Anyway, how you doing, Ed? Long time no see. What's it been?
Yeah,
Eight?
about a week. What do we got on the schedule for the day?
Well, just stuff. We're planning on at some point we're going to hook up with Steven Ignoramus. What time is it? What time does he say? Hey, it says sometime between 9:30 and 10. No, John had brought a topic to the table that, of course, of all nights, he wanted to discuss and he wanted to expose and he wanted to talk about. And, of course, now that it comes time to talk about it, the headboard cam is the good cam. Now, of course, that it's time to talk about it, he conveniently disappears, right? So my question to you then would be, how familiar are you with Warren's meme team?
I've been hearing some stuff about it on and on. I've been, or off and on rather, I should say. I've been listening to Styx talk about it here and there, so I've got some ideas there. But it's going to be like any other corporate meme generator. They're gonna completely miss the point of having everything happen, and it's gonna suck. They're gonna kill memes.
So is this actually supposed to be affiliated with Warren, or is this some 4chan bullshit?
From what I understand, this is actually going to be affiliated with Warren. She's actually got the team built out, ready to go, and they're ready to start pumping out memes because that seems to be what launched President Trump to victory, was his ability to meme the way he did.
Yeah, I've got it right here. So I've got the plan, the meme team plan that John sent me. And I'll pull that up in a moment. So, this is an interesting thing to me because I've talked to John about it. I've asked him about it. This idea that memes, when they start, if they're ever going to have an impact in Washington so much now, and of course there's the point of contention that it's what got Trump, one of the things that helped get Trump elected. Now, when you say he, is it what's coming from Trump that is memeable, or is it the generated memes? I want to know how this is, what's pushing this. Does that make sense?
Well, what's pushing a lot of this is what happened with Trump is it wasn't necessarily that he was out generating memes, but he loves to look through Twitter. He loves to look through social media. He loves to find these memes, and then he just retweets them. So, well, this was an emergency hosting, so I guess I didn't get a chance to silence my phone before we got on. That's going to be fun to hear from.
We'll make the allowance. We'll make the allowance. It's okay.
For the most part, everything was grassroots with the memes. It was just Trump and his team were sitting around retweeting them over and over again. If he saw something he liked, like the CNN body slam picture,
right,
he put it out there.
So,
and that's what's going to make this, or that's what's going to make Warren's meme team suck. First off, the left can't meme for shit. Everything that they do, that the left does, is hateful. Everything that the right does is hateful, but they happen to manage to put a little bit of air of whimsy to it.
Okay, so well that almost, see, that goes back to this the mindset I have that just makes it passive aggressive. It's just that you're not really changing anything. You're still being shitty. You're just passive aggressively being shitty. So, I don't know that strikes a balance to where one is more, I don't know, tasteful than the other, or necessary. And I get that we're driven by this culture or the memeology culturally speaking, but this is going to be a real expose as to whether or not it can be used politically. Well, I guess used politically. Was Trump intentionally like using the meme culture in that way? Do you think that was him doing it, or was it people around him?
It was absolutely him doing it, and there were people around him that were doing it as well. But I mean, look at the guy when he's up on the stage. He's rarely serious. He loves to joke around. All the memes that he put out there when he starts screaming "lock her up" or anything that's meme worthy that he does, he's got a grin on his face, a smile going, and he just wants to go out there and have fun. I don't think he takes the presidency seriously.
Okay, so
I'm not going to lie to you about that. I do not think he takes the presidency seriously one bit.
Okay, so then I'll put the question to you: isn't that a bad thing? I mean,
No.
That's? I mean, at all? You don't see that as a bad thing?
Absolutely not.
I mean, shouldn't that be the one thing we take serious? Okay, go ahead.
Here's my logic behind this. The executive branch, well, the federal government, for the most part of it, was never supposed to have as much power as it has right now, especially the executive branch. So for Trump to go in there and just kind of half-ass his way through it like the guy that wore the leather jacket when you were in high school, that's just taking away some of the public's trust and need to have an executive with a bunch of power, and it's taking away some of the power of the executive branch. Maybe some of it can get conceded back to the legislature. Maybe some of it will get conceded back to the states. Wouldn't that be something?
But I would argue that just because okay, there's Trump standing there in the leather jacket, that doesn't diminish the power he has or that he will try and wield. It only diminishes the appearance of the power that he's trying to wield. I mean,
right, but that's the first step to trying to get the people that either want the power or should have the power to try and take it back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Trump. I mean, if he wants it, I mean, this is, I mean, it's not like he doesn't want the power for himself. He's made that very clear in comments. Now, were they 4D chess comments that he's making just to stir the pot? Who knows?
I think he's come up to 5D at this point.
Is he really that? Is he that much of? Come on, Ed. Is he? Do you think he's that much of a player? Seriously?
I do.
Really?
I mean, when you want to see the guy serious, you look at what you saw in the boardrooms from 1979 on till today, and he's either got the ability to be serious or he can be cracking the jokes and being the guy that says, "You fired." I just watched the episode of Top Gear where he was on, and you look at a guy who's about to buy a $1 million car, and he's just sitting there cracking jokes with the hosts of a low-rated History Channel show that couldn't stand up to a British counterpart.
Well, I don't know. He just leaves me scratching my head too much, and I don't know. I don't agree that his way of playing 4D chess is representative of what it should be. He should take it seriously. If you've talked to military people, right?
Yeah.
And I can say that for the
military people are the biggest goofballs I've ever met.
Hold on though, but the biggest, one of the things that I've seen from a majority of them, they do not speak ill of the president, no matter who the acting president is. But they don't speak ill of the president because that's their chief, that's the commander in chief.
Absolutely.
Right? So that level of responsibility means that you have to take the presidency seriously if you're going to do it right. I mean, right? Come on. I mean, you can't just half-ass it when you've got people that are willing to live and die by your hand, and you're just up there making, I don't know.
Well, I think there's a level of seriousness to when he goes through with a mission report. Like when he's in the Situation Room, he knows when to what he's doing with the non-seriousness is he's playing to his base and he's playing to the country. He's playing the mainstream media like a fiddle because every one of them is sitting around making hour-long exposés on how many times he misspelled words on Twitter.
It is fun, though. I mean, come on. He says some fun. The smocking gun. I still love that. I love the memes that came after that. The smocking gun.
But let's be realistic on this here. I mean, if you didn't know the difference as to whether or not to be joking to try and get an effect, to try and get something out of people, or when to be serious, would you have $2.3 billion sitting in the bank right now? Like he does.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie and say the man doesn't have money, but I also know that a lot of the wealth that he purports is in his name, and it's like, okay, while it still carries a lot of weight, you look around and it's like it's just him putting his name on shit. It's like, damn. I mean, really, you've made an empire off putting your name on stuff. That's some crazy shit.
Look at the man himself for a second. I mean, he's 71 years old. Think of everybody else that you know that's 71 years old, especially the more charismatic ones, the ones that, maybe got a bunch of the girls back in the 50s and 60s. You got that wink, that little half smile there, and maybe you get the click on the back of your tongue that I can't do on command. But, I mean, he's got that personality behind it. I have seen men his age do this just at a diner counter. It's the same kind of persona that's going on there.
Right.
He's your dirty old grandpa.
Nice.
But he's the president. Well, it might be your dirty old father.
Nice.
On the generational gap between the two of us.
John saying the internet is out for the whole block. Hopefully it'll be back soon. So we'll keep an eye out for that. So while we're seeing what progresses with that, I'm going to go ahead and I've got this pulled up. I'll share my screen with you in a moment once I get this pulled up on the show.
If we get time towards the end, I do have one I want to bring up with you as well. It's It's what I'm working on for my solo video, but we'll see if we have time.
Way. I like it when you do solo stuff, especially if you film it.
Always do.
I'm a big fan of your solo work. Hold on a second. Do you? Where is that screen? There we go. All right, so I'll share the screen with you, and now you'll see what I'm putting out there. This is the Warren's meme team plan. Can you see that?
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, so the background for this is tech and mass communication have played major roles in U.S. presidential campaigns over the last century, from FDR on the radio in 1932 to Kennedy on TV in 60 to Clinton on the internet in 92. Winning campaigns adopt the latest capabilities to better connect with voters. And they talks about the progression over the internet. 2004, micro-targeting helps Bush reach the unreachable. What was micro-targeting, I wonder? Have to look into that. Online organizing helped Obama get elected. Data science helped Obama get elected the second time. So online organizing and then data science. And then 2016, social media helps Trump lead many followers. Mm-hmm. So each new evolutionary capability rewards the innovator. Each then remains important in future elections and requires operational excellence, but also becomes commodity as others adopt. This begs the question, what will be the new capability of 2020? In line with capability progression above, grassroots networks help Warren transform voter participation.
There is nothing grassroots about Warren's campaign to begin with. She's just recycling corporate money that she used to get elected in the Senate because she is a senator from Massachusetts, and much like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's district, a bottle of water with a D on it could get elected to her seat.
All right, so they talk about new forces at work. Trolls will be even more active than 2016, with big tech unable/unwilling to stop it. Online organizational tools now let distributed networks do complex collaborations. Popular apps now have powerful creative suites in the hands of millions. Basically, everything can be fake news. Would you agree with that? That's what every candidate is almost every candidate is facing in ongoing elections. Is this what we're dealing with now? It's just going to be internet-driven campaigns.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many people do you know? I mean, okay, you live in Florida where the average age is 72. So you may see a lot of people down there that still have the old cable and are watching the news networks. But I mean, in the rest of the country, especially when you're getting towards college towns like where I'm at, people are cutting the cord left and right. I don't know anybody in my age group that has basic cable unless for whatever reason they still live with their parents, which sadly at 35 some of them still do, but
Oh no, we're well advanced here. I mean, in Orlando, there's mostly there's a lot of colleges and school age kids here, that kind of thing. But it's
yeah.
mostly transit society here anyway with tourists. But no, I mean,
I thought it was a lot of snowbirds.
well, there are a lot of snowbirds, but they're around the beaches. They're on the fringe of Florida. They're not as in the heart like we are in Orlando.
Okay.
Too far inland for the snowbirds for a lot of them. But yeah, so it's so then this begs the question to me, and I'm gonna, I keep saying this. Why can't we get our voting system online then? Why can't we make that transition if this is
Because
where?
it's open to hack.
Well, what isn't?
Paper ballots.
That's open to human error and human manipulation.
That is open to human error and human manipulation, but anything that you put online is open to external forces. That's why even the voting machines don't have a connection to it. It's a manual voting machine where they sit there, they tally it up through the machine, but it's never connected to the wall and to the internet. And then once it's done collecting and reporting, they report that. They do it online, obviously, but they do the individual reporting back to the elections board rather than actually having it open to where somebody could implant a virus into it and
Okay,
take advantage of it.
so with blockchain and decentralization, do we not have the options, the opportunity to make this a real working thing? That I believe is the key there. I mean, you know, or is it going to take transitioning the Social Security system and Social Security numbers to blockchain, to blockchain wallet numbers, and then we could manage to pull it off?
I think it's coming. I don't think it's there yet, though. I don't think we have enough of a grasp on the technology in order to make blockchain a reality for voting. It could be coming. You could be absolutely correct on that, and I see a world where it does come, but for right now, it's not known enough. First off,
well, would you agree that should be a stronger impetus than trying to find ways to use the internet to manipulate people's viewpoint? Is to, if you want voter interaction and you want higher voter turnout, find a way to make voting accessible to everyone in an easier way. Right? Isn't that the better alternative than these kind of efforts to, I mean, ultimately manipulate the public? I mean, this, as I'm reading this, it's almost as if the quote unquote Russian troll companies are kind of telling you how to do it, right? How to manipulate the internet. Is that what this is about?
well, it's not necessarily what this is about. When you look at something like what you've got going on here, Elizabeth Warren is trying to take the momentum that pushed Trump up over the edge, and she's trying to make it back over into a corporate system that can be controlled from the top down, like they've done with radio, cable, and newsprint. But that's not what's going to work for any of this.
So Seawall's in the chat. Well, good to see you tonight, Seawall. He says, "I'm sorry, Rob, but I am a cybersecurity expert, and trust me, you cannot do online voting." And okay,
Yeah, and I tend to agree with him on that too.
okay, so I can get that. It's I guess here I am.
I mean, this isn't American Idol here.
Well, if you want to,
It's getting to be American Idol, but
right. It's how far from it are we? They seem to have some pretty good voting systems, but that work for them. But no, when it's all said and done, and like, scream boomer all you want, but
Yeah.
I feel like we should be at a point where we're past the need for propaganda to win an election, right? This is, call
Well,
it
there's always
meme
going to be
wars.
propaganda. That's going to be the hard part of it. It's always going to be there.
Sure, but
But
again,
who do you want controlling the propaganda? A major political
well,
party or a bunch of trolls on 4chan?
they all control their own propaganda. That's the point I'm trying to make. Each individual candidate spews out their own propaganda, and a lot of it is in the vein of trying to get larger voter turnout from this group or that group, this, etc., etc. I'm more interested in making voting accessible to everyone in an easier fashion that will allow them, there's a lot of people that just don't vote. And I think that like super ease of accessibility would overcome a lot of the apathy that what excuse do you have for not going to vote when you could just as easily pick up your device and cast your vote in a digital way? Yes, I get the security standpoint, but you understand what I'm saying. If it was that easily accessible, you can't have an excuse to just be apathetic. More people are going to vote. It's just going to happen. And I don't love that propaganda is still the mechanism by which someone's going to be elected.
So I want to divert off from what you're saying to this because it looks like Seawall is actually going the absolute opposite direction of what you were saying. We need to actually reduce the number of voters to specifically those whom have the biggest stake in the future. I think he was looking for stake in the future of the nation, i.e., the taxpayer. And that's been another. I mean, you're going down the route of get as many people involved as you can, and I've been down that route before too. But I can't get on board with the merit of restricting the voting to people who are white landowning males. I can't get on board to that, but I know that I've got a neocon cousin who has brought up the idea, and I'm on the fence about going with the idea. I can see both the pro and the con to it of no representation without taxation.
Wyatt. Yeah, when it's all said and done, it's yes, that's Ed in here. John is having internet issues, so Ed popped in to keep me company and hold my hand because I get scared when I'm alone. It's I don't know. I understand that yes, there are people in this country that think that some votes outweigh other votes. That some people, but when it's all said and done, if you're a citizen of this country, whether you're a citizen who is, let's say, taking advantage of the welfare system, and by taking advantage, I mean utilizing the welfare system. You don't get a vote because your tax burden is less than mine?
Well, it's hard to say with that, and it's not necessarily the fact that his tax burden is less than yours. The problem that a lot of people have when they say no representation without taxation is more the fact that a lot of these people are, I hate to use the term like this, but it's the only way I can think to describe it, voting for a living. That's where I can see the pro to that.
Well, voting for a living is, if you think about it, and when you say voting for a living, qualify that just a little bit more.
They're voting for the people who keep coming up and saying, we're going to give you a better stake of life, whether or not you work.
Okay, so they're voting for what they want, though. I mean, isn't that what everybody's doing when they cast their vote? They're voting for the person that's going to improve their quality and stake in life, whether it's by giving more socialist programs or whether it's by cutting socialist programs. Those two people have the same end goal, to improve their quality of life.
And the difference is the people who are paying the taxes, like yourself, who are paying the taxes, would probably love to have a reduced tax burden, and the other ones, the ones that are voting for a living, for lack of a better term, are voting to take advantage of your taxes and possibly raise them even.
Well, that doesn't mean that their voice is any less valid.
Oh, I got kicked out for a second.
No, I was adding somebody in. I was trying to surprise you with it. It's the ignoramus in the house.
All right, are we both on air?
I am.
I'm on air. Are you on air?
You guys can see me as well. Good, we got double camera action. Oh, John's not in there?
John who?
Who the hell is John?
John quit.
Yeah.
He quit the show, huh? Let me get you guys on camera
Rage
and I'll
quit.
turn the music off. He rage quit?
Yeah, he did. He does. He's.
He's what?
He got
Hey,
mad.
look, I
He
can
quit.
see Robert's Discord.
All right,
No, you
Discord.
Not anymore.
Oh, we're good. Let me. I'll turn off my own camera, and we're gonna do this. All right, we're live on air.
We're live on air.
To all the listeners of my show out there, this is the generational gap, but John isn't in there. I did not expect to see Jay Edgar in there. That's interesting.
It's just a little
happening?
surprise. Hey, folks, how
What
you
are we
doing
talking
tonight?
about? Yeah, what are we talking about?
We were originally talking about Warren's meme team. We've kind of got a little derailed, but we were talking about this idea that there may be a Warren meme team. I think it's a crock of 4chan shit that's going on. I don't think
it's because it's not officially her, right?
I think it is actually.
It says here that it's okay. Let me pull this up. So it's an unofficial campaign launched by MIT graduate Misha Leibovich, which aims to spread awareness and support for Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren. And I went to their Twitter. I saw it falsely reported by PJ Media that it was officially Elizabeth Warren, and I went on their Twitter too, and it says not officially part of the campaign.
See, that's what I was. I was like, okay, this. I don't. Now, it may be true, man. Maybe this is somebody trying to sell this to Warren's campaign. I don't know, but I was like,
disavow,
right?
I disavow.
But we were looking at and it's because it's it kind of, I could see how it reads like a business plan, almost a little, laying it out. Have you seen did John happen to share that with you, the Warren's meme team plan, the Google Doc?
Google Doc, no.
Oh,
okay. So
no.
I'm over on their Twitter right now, and it's Warren's meme team is the handle, and it says saving the nation with selfies and memes, organizing writers, artists, marketers to make and spread creation templates, not affiliated with the official campaign, and it says it links to warrensmemeteam.com. So now, and I'm showing the people this. Let me get this out in front. You got it on there too?
I'm sharing
okay,
I've got a share screen with you.
What?
This is the actual Google Doc that we've got.
Where did you get it from? Their website?
John sent it to me. This is one of those times where he dropped something in my lap right as we're right before the show. So I'm not sure where he got it. But it's basically talking about it's building a background of how social media has slowly, as the internet has slowly become a factor in moving campaigns forward and getting people elected. As far back as Bush, Obama, these kind of things, and how social media got Trump elected. But then it starts to go into a plan on what they're going to do. How to set up a meme team for the political battlefield in social media. It's kind of interesting to read.
Wow. Is it? It's not editable, right?
It's a view only from what he shared. I don't know how he got.
Right,
it looks
so
like he's on the dock.
So interesting. So I'm showing the people, but it's a little blurry or whatever because of Discord.
Well, I'm gonna.
You want to share it with me?
Yeah. What the? Yeah. Let me see if I can get the link to you.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna kick on my stream here. So give me a second. I'll throw an introduction out.
You're gonna host? Oh, you're doing it. Okay, gotcha.
You're gonna triple.
Cool.
We're gonna triple stream it. That's crazy.
Hey, everybody, welcome over to my emergency guest host with the generational gap. As you can see on the screen already, we've got Robert, the normal host. The co-host is missing today because of internet issues, and we have joined by Stephen Ignoramus. Thanks for coming in and joining our conversation already in progress.
So why don't you share that with me, Robert, and
I just put it in. I just put
it in Discord.
Yeah, I just sent it to you in Discord, sir. Sorry.
All right. Sorry, folks out there, if this is a little bit weird. It's the first time we've done this, so.
While you're pulling it up, I'll read the mission of
Please do, yeah.
The meme team. So first, let's define meme. When most people hear meme, they think image macros specifically, but a meme is any unit of culture that spreads as people replicate it and add their own twist. They are conceptually simple, participatorily easy, and generally fun. Social media teams on campaigns do a great job of amplifying memes when they happen, but political memes tend to originate externally and randomly. The Hope poster, the Pussy Hat, and much of what Trump has amplified since 2016 have come from supporters, specifically from skilled creators who could run the full stack process from message to creative to distribution. President Trump has successfully outsourced creativity to his supporters. For Senator Warren to win, we must outperform the meme efforts of our primary and general election competitors. Warren Meme Team is a people power engine to help spread the campaign's message faster and further. The purpose of this power is to win in 2020, then support President Warren in enacting her agenda. She's got an agenda, folks. I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but she's got an agenda.
This guy, Alt the Cyborg says the reason why leftists and boomers hate them are right in the definition. The project. So it says it says if the small group of supporters with message, creative, distro skills. Notice there's emojis associated with those, which is always fun. Can make templates that are easy to use and spread, then many more supporters can create and share their own content. If those skills can be unbundled to allow even more specialists to network brains, hearts, and hands in collaboration, then even more quality templates can be produced and circulated. Here are the... Is that... it's the projects. Oh, that's the emoji for projects, I guess. Covering the content creation and distribution lifecycle. I thought that was a Pikachu emoji for a second in front of projects. But that's right. Wow.
So so look at this. There's emojis associated with there. Oh, a unicorn for inspirational messaging. That's a unicorn for inspirational themed messages is awesome in my opinion. I mean, who doesn't love horny horses, right?
What's really funny about this is that this is the whole the left can't meme thing. Like, this isn't, all this stuff might be a good explanation of how to meme, but that isn't how to meme. How to meme is be funny.
Yeah.
like you can.
Whoa, Stephen. Whoa, sir.
You could put this whole thing. It's kind of like that with music. Like, if you understand music really well, you can write a whole textbook about it. But at the end of the day, the point is to sound good. You can boil the whole thing down to sound good. It's the same thing with meme. It's be clever. You know, this is a post. This is like a textbook where you analyze it post rather than pre. You know what I mean? Like, this is not how to meme at all. This is an exact breakdown, sir, of exactly how to meme. If I'm going to meme, this is the steps I follow every time I do it. And the emojis are the most important part, sir. So please stand down with your aggressive speaking about my emoji talk.
There's nothing like a 69-year-old woman who decides to talk on text like a 22-year-old woman.
Dude, this is crazy, man.
So this, but see, this is the thing. This is how This is how memology becomes a science. This is how it develops. We are on the forefront of a new type of cultural device that it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be the kind of thing where like everything is going to be meme. It's just, you're not even going to go
What's
to the
the
movies
problem with
anymore.
that,
You're going to
though?
go to the memes,
Dude, this is crazy, man.
right?
Someone in the chat says, "Did I see the new AOC meme team that lasted for 3 hours?" No, I haven't heard about that, Boulder.
I heard something very briefly about that, but like he said, it kind of just drifted away into nothing.
And these are all linked. I wonder what all these links are,
I wasn't going to click any of them.
dude. I'm
It's
fucking
probably-
putting this in the Discord.
It probably goes to
Spammer.
it's probably goes to other documents they might be working on, other parts of the plan. I don't know, or they may just be dead. Not go to.
It
So,
goes to a website that puts a virus in your Twitch stream that yells the N-word over and over and over again.
Oh,
Well,
this,
happened.
oh,
That's
this
happened on my stream.
they appear
I
to
know.
link to articles. So like
Yeah, they do. There's Slate. Yeah, there's
Politico,
yeah, dude, this is ridiculous. This is like a textbook.
right?
For the people listening on my end, I just linked this Google Doc in the Discord server if y'all want to follow along or whatever. Bear Arms says, thankfully the newest generation of memes aren't letting the Epstein case sunset.
Oh my God! This is now. See, there is something. This is the one that I'm waiting on. I'm hoping that meme culture keeps on with this enough that it prompts her to say something. I'm waiting. I want to see. That's the experiment that I've got going on right now. Is hoping that she will, because it's everywhere. I mean, I'm just seeing little bits here, there. All the memes that are being posted about it are awesome. Steven, I think you've even jumped on board a little, haven't you, sir?
Hello, on board what?
You know what I'm talking about
No, I don't.
with
I don't.
the
Oh,
Epstein,
you know.
the Epstein memeing.
Oh, have I?
I think
Have
I saw
oh,
something just today.
Yeah. Oh, I just put it in a text thing. Yeah, I mean, that's level 1, bro. I'm asking if there was an Epstein.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa!
I don't even know if there was an Epstein, bro.
Look,
Did Epstein exist?
Dude, it's a real thing.
look. When it's all said and done, I think that the only question we have to ask is if it's appropriate for this meme about Epstein didn't kill himself to be going around, because has it been qualified that it's killing someone when you assist with suicide? I mean, if it was
Yeah.
assisted suicide, is that killing someone? Or are you just helping them commit suicide?
Yeah, what if they strenuously encouraged it?
Right. And look at how he was dressed. He was asking for it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Just saying.
I saw a report that it was the sheet he allegedly hung himself with was like an orange sheet. I don't know. You guys know Dr. Kevin Wakasi? You ever heard of this guy?
No.
Yeah.
He's a dude that he went on a couple programs to talk about it. But he was saying it wasn't a suicide a long time ago, son. Long time ago.
Okay, so
Anyway,
We've been
So you
saying
guys
it since it happened.
yeah.
right.
Well, no, I mean he said there was proof, like medical proof of it for a long time, not just speculation. Like the way the hyoid bone broke or whatever. But I'm gonna butcher the shit out of whatever I'm talking about.
It's never stopped you before.
Yeah. Never. Boulder Vaughn wants in on this chat. I don't know, bro. Are you ready, bro? Do you guys know Boulder Vaughn?
No, I don't know.
Why don't you guys
any rocks?
Boulder? Why don't you watch Generational Gap a couple times, then you can get in a couple episodes or something like that. He's some kind of chatter. Seems like good people though.
So it almost looks like this. I'm looking here at the Appendix A, the hook model. It almost looks like they're trying to explain how Trump works the meme to get people just like.
Dude,
Well, it's like I was saying earlier. I mean, the biggest part about Trump's memeing is the fact that for the most part, he didn't make any of the memes. He just he spread them around. A lot of people were just making these memes to troll, to try and either make him look good or just have fun with the fact that he does the wink and the click like we were talking about earlier. And Trump saw a meme that he liked and he hit retweet. And it went instantly to 6 million people.
yeah, I mean you could argue that's like 10% of memeing is just stealing them, just knowing which ones are gonna get stolen. And have you seen that it's a meme that you put in the comments, and it's a person sawing through the ceiling, and it's like, I have just stolen this meme.
Yeah,
and it's pointing to the one above it.
I've seen that one.
Hold on,
Robert, put your face back on.
I don't want my face back on.
You don't want your face back on? Okay.
Nobody wants to
hold
see
on.
that
Let me do one thing real quick, because I'm gonna.
He's gonna switch to the headboard camera.
I'm gonna add something to the mix. Hang on tight, guys. This is gonna get bumpy.
No, sir, J. Edgar. No, sir. Oh, you
Oh no.
No.
Oh,
he's here.
It's not you.
Let's see if he jumps in.
Yo.
The saber-tooth is here.
Sorry, no camera tonight. Not enough prep time.
Look who's
The
here.
seawall.
I can get the camera on.
Hey, is anybody?
Nah, I don't.
I'm good at it.
Now that I have all you guys here, just a quick question. Has anybody seen John? Have you guys seen John at all? I'm missing.
I'm not
John.
watching the live chat anymore. I'm just watching my own,
No,
which
no.
R-rated is in mine. So thanks for
Oh.
watching R-rated.
You got an R-rated conservative in your chat? That's just.
Yes, I do.
That's.
Uh-oh. Already
Unbelievable.
conservative.
So, Seawall, do you like this meme team plan? Is that working for
God,
you?
it looks like a college course on memeing. It's fucking atrocious.
That's what I was saying, yo. It's some textbook shit where they don't actually know how to do it. They just know how to explain it after the fact.
And you know what's
Bullshit.
funny? There will be memes made about this meme team that will be
Yeah.
better than anything this meme team ever creates. It's the inception of memeing.
Right. Yeah.
My God, what has happened to this world?
This
Inception.
is what we've come to. That's the idea. Is that everything is they're trying to drive everything socially through social media. It's fucking insane. I don't want policy decided this way. I want votes I can handle. But this propaganda and this manipulation, because it all requires manipulating the public. You
You assume they haven't manipulated the public the entire fucking time?
I get it.
Hasn't it been
I
released
know.
that a lot of famous journalists actually were left-wing activists in disguise the entire fucking time?
But the difference.
No, that could never happen.
It's different. It's different to me, I guess, because this is it's. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a different type of
Look,
exposure.
Rob, you're
that's-
someone who wants to democratize everything. This is democratization of propaganda that has always existed.
It's.
You wish for this, and you get it.
No,
Yeah.
no. I just.
Now, do you see why my system is better?
Well, yeah,
what
but
is
we
your
can't.
system,
We
Seawall?
can't throw people out of
helicopter ride.
helicopters.
Bring back the poll tax. The vote literally costs you something. The vote is not a right. Your voice is a right. Your vote is not.
Yeah, I remember you explained. Didn't you
Yeah.
call into my show to talk about it?
Yeah, a little bit a while
Yeah.
back, but basically, you basically opt into a voluntary income tax that you then pay, and you get a vote. And because the vote costs you something, you're much more likely to treasure it and want not to waste it.
Are you saying that the vote is your precious?
Yes, it is a precious to me.
So let me get this. Let me get this straight. If I didn't want to be a voter, I wouldn't have to pay taxes.
Wouldn't it pay an income tax? You still have to pay a VAT tax.
Oh well, that's just rude,
Taxation is theft.
right? That's just rude. You're going to
Taxation is a cost of having a complex society.
I have tried to make that argument,
pronounced
but
theft wrong.
nobody wants to agree with me on this. No, taxation is theft. Bullshit. You need it to
Taxation
run.
can become theft, though. It can become theft.
Oh,
I think
sure.
we can all agree to that.
That's
yeah. It's the level.
Taxation without representation. Yes, sir. I understand.
Oh, there was remember, there was taxation without representation back in the old days.
I think
In our
taxation.
own founding.
I think that happens currently in this day and age, because when was the last time
Oh,
you
yeah.
voted on more taxes at the federal level? I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, but look, if you actually look at the tax code, over half this nation gets a tax break, basically tax refund, without paying any taxes into the system. So less than half of this nation is paying for the other half effectively, or
More.
giving them free money.
I could agree with that.
So I am big on the whole simplify the tax code into
No.
basically.
That is just billionaires and billionaires. I'm telling you.
Look, Bernie.
Nice.
Look, Bernie. If we went to the old school way of voting, where the vote was proportionally based on how much you provided to the system, you wouldn't ever have gotten into power because the millionaires and billionaires would hold all of it.
But the millionaires and the billionaires, they're holding all the wealth. And we can have breadlines, and breadlines, I think, are a good thing.
Bread lines aren't bad, especially if there's government cheese. Government cheese was some good stuff, so deal with it. All right, so let me ask the three of you a question, in regards to this meme team plan. So, how much do the three of you think social media impacts your opinions of the individual candidates, whether the existing president, the 2016 election? How much did all of this impact you in your thought process and your decisions on voting?
Oh, I just enjoyed Trump in the debates. That's what got me. I was not originally a Trump guy. I was originally a Kasich.
Was it social media that swayed you, or was it just purely Trump himself?
It was Trump himself actually fighting back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't want to elect another loser.
What about you, Stephen? How much does social media play a role in your decisions surrounding Trump then and now?
Well, I mean, if a president is pro good meme, if any politician is pro good meme, I'm into that. I'm super into internet culture. But at this point, it's like, I don't know how you could convince me to vote for a Democrat. You could convince me to. So I'm saying, regardless of factor, I'm probably going to vote for Trump, unless I vote Libertarian. But I'm just here for the ride, baby. But so I'm into the spectacle. I'm into the comedy of the whole thing. So the more spectacle, the better. I don't think the whole thing is to be taken seriously.
Also,
year.
the more spectacle, the more the government gets light shined in places that it doesn't want it.
Exactly. That's so it's whoever can bring the most irreverence and disrespect to the whole thing. It's kind of what I'm into. So
Follow-up question.
The social.
What if I ran on the Democrat ticket?
Then there's the practicality aspect to it. Like if a person has 0% chance to do it, and the only way, if it's like practically, I probably am going to vote Trump. But if there was a chance of the Libertarian getting like 10 to 12% chance of the vote, I could be convinced. But
with the modern big L Libertarian Party, unlikely.
It's not going to happen. I can't stand them unless if the Mises Caucus takes over the Libertarians. I'm into that. I like them.
Also, look, one thing that I'm really hoping in 2020 is Trump says, "Hey, I'm kicking Pence the curb, and I'm bringing in Rand Paul, and there goes the Libertarian vote straight to Trump."
That would be awesome.
I don't know. The Libertarian vote is kind of against Rand Paul right now because he's standing in Trump's corner.
Well, that's the big L's.
Yeah.
We're talking about
they're
the
in the middle of the Civil War too. Did you guys listen to Nicholson's show this morning or today?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to all of Brian. You talking about Brian? Brian Nicholson? Yeah. So they're in the middle of their own thing. I mean, no one fights more than libertarians. I mean, all three of the libertarian, the right, and the left are all in a civil war right now.
Though the right is much more unified compared to us.
Are you sure? Because
dude, the right thing is. Dude, the right civil war is fascinating. It's not unified, yo. It's not. It's not about the Groypers versus the establishment but that is the fight that's going on. It's like the America Firsters, no matter what, versus the people that are basically cucks, yo.
And they are not very popular
anymore.
Who's not very popular? The mainstream right or the America Firsters?
Yeah, they're losing out a lot of the base.
No, who's
Trump has
they?
expanded basically the neocon cucks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
They're
know.
the old guard. Look, we're looking at a death rattle.
Look, I think you're right, but we spend a lot of time on the internet, yo.
Yeah.
Like the mainstream right is still not, in this like 20, 30-year-old thing where I don't know, man. I maybe it's the internet I'm like overcorrecting for my internet bias, but I don't think the neocon like Israel's our greatest ally thing is as unpopular as you think. I really don't.
Okay, it's not it's not that it's unpopular. It's just that when push comes to shove, America first wins out over that.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, but they're doing a good job of smearing them as trolls and alt-right and shit. I mean, I don't think it's going to hold up over time, but I find that
it's a death rattle.
Yeah,
the old guard is dying. It's a death rattle. It's the same thing with the neolibs.
Shit, I hope so.
They're losing to the far left progressive.
I hope so.
And if they do lose the far left progressives, all of those business dem voters, they're going straight into the new Republican Party, aka the party of Trump.
Mm-hmm. I see a little bit too coming along with like the union households that I grew up in.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the manufacturing unions endorse Trump in 2020. I would not be surprised.
That's going to be a stretch.
Look, with how crazy the left has gotten.
Yeah, but have you looked at some of the manufacturing unions as well? I mean, I see it firsthand because I'm smack dab in the middle of union country.
Yeah, and what did they say about the Green New Deal?
It's going to be a stretch.
Yeah.
It is absolutely possible. It is going to be a hard-pressed road, though.
Yeah. I said I wouldn't be surprised.
Before they go Trump.
Yeah, nobody's going to beat him. I think the writing's on the wall. They're failing. The Democrats are failing at everything that they try to do. And it's fallen apart for him. So it doesn't matter how good the candidates are. Nobody's going to stack up against him. And even if you bring a libertarian into the field, it's not going to make a difference. And Sewell made a very good point. It wouldn't surprise me to see Pence dropped and someone like Rand Paul folded in.
And he's going to get most of the little L libertarians, which means that party won't have a viable, even remotely viable third-party candidate.
Exactly.
The big L libertarian party might just die.
Right. It's going to cuck because it's going to fold into the Republican Party, and that's going to be its last gasp if something like that happens. Now, is that to say that I wouldn't put it past him to tap one of his two kids to step into the role instead of Pence, but that's just me speculating. I know there's got to be a thought of grooming one of them for the 2024.
I don't know about that, but I'm thinking Rudy maybe.
Oh fuck! No
Giuliani,
way.
no.
Oh my God! Now
he
you
has
want
too much baggage.
You want to talk about a hit? I mean, I'm sorry, but somebody's going to be Epsteined if that were to happen. I'm just saying, it's going to happen.
Are you saying that Epstein didn't kill himself?
I'm sorry. What did I use the wrong? I'm sorry. Did that word slip out? I don't know what you're saying. All right, so here's a question for you. So, because my mind begins to extrapolate further into the future when I'm long gone. But do any of the three of you foresee a day when memes become sponsored?
Yes, and then they die off.
No,
well, that meme would die.
Corporate sponsors. So when you think about something like this Warren's meme team, well, are we going to start seeing companies sponsoring meme teams to where they're branding them with their logo? They start to speak through meme. Are we going to move to that?
There's a very unique thing within the meme community. They can smell a shill a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's not a meme; it's an ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can.
I could see viral marketing borrowing aspects of meme culture to do viral marketing, but that's been around for years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's as far as it'll ever get. Viral marketing.
Well, my thought is that at some point, like anything else, it's going to become trite and derivative and sell out. I mean, it's going to sell out in that way to where, true meme culture goes away, to where it just becomes
Here's
this
the problem, though.
advertising,
Well,
like you said.
it morphs.
The reason why the other things like, sold out at a certain point. There was a time in Hollywood when there was a lot of really experimental and interesting shit going on, and look what's happened to it now. But the reason why was because of the amount of investment it took to do a movie. Whereas, what is the investment of making a meme and posting it? Maybe a couple of hours if it's a really complex one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, the system is so democratized and decentralized, there is no way to corrupt it.
Because I'm seeing that as a way for corporations to, get their influence into politics.
They're already there.
Do you think is that happening a lot more than is recognizable?
They're already there, man.
Well,
They've been there forever.
Give me an example. Well, super PACs, yeah, but I'm talking about in meme culture. Are corporations using meme culture currently to press agendas as far as politics are concerned? Is that currently happening, is what I'm asking.
I doubt it, just because, again, the meme community is very good at sniffing out the shills. Okay. There is just something obvious about a shill meme.
And here's the other thing that goes along with memes. So, I mean, think back to what memes were just a couple years ago when it was a single picture that you cropped out from a movie somewhere, and it had white text on the top and white text on the bottom.
Sure.
Look at what we see now.
Well, those are still here today.
Well, they're not used as much, though.
Yeah,
because they morphed.
Yeah,
but as the
thing is, and Rob, the amount of freedom that you need to give to a meme creator, no corporation is going to back that. They would have. Because the thing is, okay, Rob, how much have you worked in corporate America?
Well, some. I mean, depends on what the point you're
making. You
You
have to get your supervisor to sign off. Then they have to get their supervisor to sign off. And the thing is, I guarantee you, the supervisor is not nearly as hip to this, and definitely not the supervisor hip to the new culture. So they are very unlikely to do memes and understand them.
Well, it's I'm thinking of it as,
and they're likely to demand edits. I mean, what happens when editors get into a movie? What the fuck happens when the company fucks with a movie? It always fails.
Well, it's this idea that as the meme culture becomes more widespread, right? This is as it becomes more prevalent. When you have things like this, a meme team plan, this kind of talk, this kind of thing going on, to where it's actually becoming a weaponizable thing in discussion. It's going to become diluted. It's going to become the idea of the meme culture is going to change significantly in the landscape of the future. Am I correct? To where the original meme culture is not going to be a real thing.
Well, also John brought up something good in the thing. The silence brand meme literally was a reaction to brands trying to meme. Mm-hmm. And whenever a show meme is picked up, the thing gets memed to hell and back. And that will hurt the brand, so corporate is not going to sign off on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as I said, viral marketing is as far as they'll ever go and adopt elements of it. They won't ever try to co-opt it because they know the second they try to fucking co-opt it, they will become the meme.
I gotcha. So you think that kind of resiliency will last?
It's too decentralized, too democratized. Why do you think corporate America has failed to stop things like torrenting? It is too decentralized. They've tried everything. They've even gotten governments involved, and they can't stop it. It just changes, evolves, and moves on.
Well, then knowing that you've got people talking whether not speaking to the validity of it, but when you look at something like this meme team plan, is that the direction that you want? Is that where we want campaigning? Is that where we want politics to go?
It's not it's not a want. It's a what is going to happen. Memes are a form of communication, and internet and social media communication is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So there is no way to stop it. I mean, what was it? A long time ago, it used to be stops. What was it? Debates were done at various stops along the campaign route. Then the radio came around, and I guarantee you, people were talking about it, saying, "Do you really want radios to prevent them from actually coming to our area and talking to us and looking at us?" I guarantee you, the same stuff has been said 1,000 times with every advancement in communications technology.
I can appreciate that.
But Rob, do you know that it was considered unprecedented and insane for FDR to do his fireside chats, for him to directly talk to the American people every week on the radio? It was considered insane and unpresidential.
It's considered insane for Trump to use his Twitter account to directly talk to
And I guarantee you, next president is going to be using Twitter a lot like Trump, though probably not nearly with as much ego and probably a hell of a lot more of a shill.
I could see that.
I would have to say it's probably going to be a couple of presidents after Trump. I mean, I think he's kind of put a stigma on that kind of thing to where it's gonna. I don't know. Is it going to have an impact?
Well, it depends. Are we going to have a President Rand Paul 2024? Because if we do, you know he loves his Twitter a little bit too.
Is he good on Twitter?
He's got some hot takes here and there.
Cool. Yeah, I like Rand Paul. He's tight with Trump.
Yeah, he is the libertarian Jiminy Cricket on Trump's shoulder.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that Rand Paul's playing 4D to get the libertarians in the White House in 2024?
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Not as the Big L Libertarian Party, but maybe as a reformed Republican Party.
Well, let me ask you this: how far fetched is it for him to run as a libertarian Republican? I mean, he'll
run as a Republican, but he'll espouse libertarian values and reignite the what part of the base was it? The Tea Party base.
Right.
The ones that were co-opted.
Right. What if he gets elected and then he just switches it just declares himself a libertarian after the election? Can he do that?
I think he'd be impeached pretty fucking quick. They'd find a reason.
I was just going to say, is that impeachable? I mean,
no. They would find a reason to impeach him.
Yeah, but he doesn't grab
anyway.
He doesn't grab anybody by the pussy. I'm just saying, there's nothing impeachable there. Come on.
No, what I mean is the system.
Yeah.
That would be a bridge too far for the system, and they would make an example of him to prevent that happening in the future.
Yeah, more than likely. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would just. But who would be running it? Would it be the Democrats or Republicans? I mean, think about it. They'd have to like agree with each other or something.
When it comes to certain things, they're very good at agreeing with each other. Remember, what was it? Prison and the spying on the Americans and the Patriot Act and the war in Iraq. Yeah, there was a lot of bipartisan support then.
So does the meme culture cause too much divisiveness? Does it instill too much divisiveness in its effect
really.
from a political standpoint?
No.
Who gives a fuck? There's nothing to cause as much divisiveness as just the ideas. That's why I think it's that people have it all ass backwards about like Trump is divisive and memes are divisive.
No, it's the media.
The things that and the media is the things that came before Trump and the memes are the divisive.
Well, I won't disagree that we weren't becoming divisive already.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on a path to it, but certainly meme culture, and I wasn't necessarily relating it to Trump, but I can bring him into it when we talk about meme culture because he's widespread in it. I mean, stoking the fire of divisiveness. I mean, it doesn't help the situation overall. Am I correct? And I only say
he doesn't stoke the fire more than Obama did. Well, it's just the media the media is just ripping out a fucking flamethrower every day.
I get it.
I mean,
I won't argue that.
On average? I mean, Obama was the media's golden boy, and Trump, they talk about him 3 times as much as they did at Obama.
And just we all know, though, deep down inside, he loves that. He loves it.
Oh yes, because it gives him immense power.
It's that old mindset. Nope, there is no bad press because they're talking about you, right? I mean, that's what's really most important to him. I think he loves the fact that everybody attacks him constantly. It stokes his ego to the extent that he comes out and just really puts it out there on Twitter.
And I mean, Orange Man Bad drives ratings like you wouldn't believe.
Right?
But it's having a diminishing effect at this point. They're losing ratings left and right. It's basically like what's a good way to put it? It's like shooting up a really hard drug like heroin. You're never gonna quite get as good as that first hit.
Sure. But remember, though, the beautiful thing about the media, the mainstream media, is the news cycle. I mean, you know, your clicks can be way down, but let something really major happen in the news cycle and everybody's clicks go up. I mean, because there's a scramble for information and, you know, it's a numbers game.
The peaks are getting lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, but that's kind of, you know, what's
and
happening.
And these companies are firing people left and right.
New media is having an impact there, which I'm wholly appreciative of. Trump is not helping them at all with, you know, constantly branding everyone as fake news. That has an impact on viewership, I know, because people don't know what to trust anymore when it comes from the mainstream media. It's an overwhelming amount of shit. I can't tell you how many headlines I read where I'm just like, that's not what you led me to believe from your headline. This is nothing. This is a nothing.
And people are seeing it more and more and more. And look what Veritas just dropped with ABC and what CBS did in response. They fired the wrong person.
Yeah.
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 Crazy. We talked about that earlier. Yeah.
So, you know, I get it. It's dying. You know, part of it is, it's lamestream media from the simple fact that you can't believe anything that's truly created anymore. I mean, you can't really even trust a lot of new media that uses mainstream media to, you know, when we put these articles up and we talk about them, you know, we've got to go on that grain of salt, like Ed always ends his show with, where, you know, it's like, nothing. You can't believe anything we're showing you here. We're just showing you some, you know, this is what it is. What it is.
Assuming the opposite tends to be pretty accurate these days compared to what they're reporting.
Well, it makes you, you know, and then I turn around and I look at someplace like BuzzFeed News, and I actually read an article.
Nudes.
Yeah, I like BuzzFeed Nudes.
I actually read an article, and it was from a reporter who had spent the last 10 years in the Ukraine and was giving a counter perspective of what it was like in the Ukraine right now with all this talk of them here in the United States and what kind of impact it's having over there. And it was a very well-written journalistic article, and I'm like, I had to check 3 different times to make sure I was still on BuzzFeed with the article I was reading. And I'm like, this says BuzzFeed, but this is actually an article. This is actually reporting. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
This says BuzzFeed, but it's not talking about which Office character you are.
Right. But it was, so it's...
Well, what's the old saying? A broken clock is right twice a day?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's you still have to sift through it all to find the little nuggets and grains of potential truth, but you can't believe it anymore. But, how is that? Is that not going to, affect new media eventually as well? Are we not going to eventually sell out to our...
It's democratized.
Are we going to sell out to our biases? I mean, is that...
Okay, why is that? One of the reasons the new media are popular is because they aren't sellouts. The second one of them sells out, they get dropped like a hot bag of shit.
Mm-hmm. It happens quick.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Right? It's quick, yo.
Yeah. So, Rob, you are using older mindsets to try to judge the now. You need to actually think in the now.
Well, I want to take that.
You think like a Zoomer a little bit.
Hold on, but using history as a guide is for precaution is not a bad thing.
It's a precaution, but the problem is, there are moments in time where you have no precedence. where you have nothing you can't compare it to.
I can give you that. I can give you that to a certain extent.
Look, we're talking about a level of human communication that couldn't have been imagined by pretty much anyone. I mean, even science fiction didn't get this far. Or they said it would happen in, 2,000 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Trek, did Star Trek talk about social media? No, they talked about it, advanced communications, but that was more traditional.
They had the first Nokias. Scotty, beat me up.
Yeah, they basically came up with the concept of wireless communication, though there were though the concept of radio was around obviously for a long time, and the first cell phones were kind of in existence. It's weird. It was like there was a couple of cities that had a service where with a radio you could get hooked into the phone system.
I have to say this: the one major prop I'll give to the original Star Trek is that I don't have to open my grocery store door anymore.
Yo, J. Edgar.
What's up?
Why don't you give a couple final thoughts, and then I'm going to sign off, okay?
Well, I want to take
yeah,
just kind of what Seawall had said a little bit further about selling out here, and we do have an old guard that's still on social media that is convinced that every one of us out here in new media is looking to sell out. I actually got in a long debate with somebody on Twitter because he had to go through all of my tweets and scream about every one of them because I disagreed with him on Occupy or on the Democrat page, and the last thing he said was, "Dude, why are you even trying? You're never going to work for Fox News." I'm like, I don't want to work for Fox News.
Yeah.
I can't say fuck on Fox News.
Right. Wait, don't say that.
I would never want to work for. I wouldn't want to work for Fox News. I doubt they treat their. I don't think they treat their IT guys very well.
But I mean, to this guy over on the left, that is like, for us on the right, the ultimate messiah of what to do, and like that's not it at all.
No, look. It's more new media is using Fox News than Fox News using new media.
Yeah.
And enjoying, the Tucker Carlson face meme. And I have a theory about what that face means. He is thinking of the word to cause every liberal's head to explode. He will one day just crack a small smile, say the word, and his guest's head will just explode live on air.
Tucker's tight, man. He's like the only person on TV I like.
He is the only boomer that is tolerable.
I thought he was a Gen Xer.
No.
How old is he?
He might be Gen X, but he's fucking boomer, man.
He's Gen X. He's Gen X.
He's Gen X, but he's got boomer mentalities, man.
Right? It's not hard to have. Hey, but it's like you said, a lot of us still look back to, the way things were and wonder, is that ever going to be possible again to get some, because that's what everybody talks about wanting. They don't realize that's what they're saying, but that is what you're saying. You want things to go back to what it once was, when this country was great, when we were productive, when we weren't throwing all of our issues in each other's faces constantly, and we didn't have this open divisiveness.
And the plans that I have would take probably a generation or two to fully implement.
Wow.
How long does it take to throw someone out of a helicopter?
Jeez Louise.
That's during the first half generation.
The first half.
All right. I'm gonna sign off, y'all. So why don't you? So this was Seawall, J. Edgar, and Robert. And why don't you guys plug your work real fast so people that are listening can subscribe to your channels?
Ed,
host, do you want to go first?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, Robert, you go first.
Hey, this is Robert from the Generational Gap. You can find us on YouTube in our, just look up the Generational Gap. We've got all the links to our D-Live. We've got it to Discord. We've got Freedom Scoop as well. You can find all of us on Freedom Scoop as well, which is one of the best places to find us. Everything that we're putting out there. John, my co-host, would normally be here, but he broke his internet, and I don't know how he did that. But he'll be back. We're always on Monday nights shooting the shit from 9 to 10 Eastern time, and then we're of course here on Friday nights from 8:30 till 10:30ish, or till we get tired of talking. One of the two. But thanks, Stephen.
Cool, J. Edgar.
I'm J. Edgar. I am the editor-in-chief for freedomscoop.com. You can find me over on YouTube. The channel name is J. Edgar with a spiraled globe in front of it. New content every weekend on a solo video, and every Monday at 6:30, check out Ed's World, live streamed on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. What else do I have? DLive, or Tuesday morning on the audio platforms.
Cool. Seawall?
I am a little bit harder to find out there as I more kind of pop in to various places.
Pokes head into chat.
No. Drives half track in chat. Get it right.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I remember the good old days before the half track when you were goose stepping in.
I upgraded.
I like the.
I got a company car, man.
It's a monster truck.
But I exist out there. I'm a lurker, so I won't plug my social media, but I will plug a show that still exists, and we're trying to bring it back. Me and a couple of guys called the Deplorable Batcave Podcast. I'll try to get a link to Stephen Ignoramus at some point, and hopefully we can bring the show back. But we are really intermittent. We got a lot of guys that show up on the show, like 5 to 6, and we just talk current events and for an hour, and then go away, and then reappear maybe 3 months later.
It's highly deplorable.
It is.
Very deplorable.
Cool, y'all. Well, have a good rest of your show, okay?
All right, Stephen.
Steven.
Thanks for
All right.
stopping by.
Talk to you later.
Peace.
Or Piano Man.
All right. I will. I got a concert coming up next Wednesday, so
Oh, nice.
I'll try to learn it, okay? Peace out,
Yeah, no problem.
y'all. All right. Later.
Take care.
And then there were 3.
And
So
a giant saber tooth in the middle of my screen.
right?
In a nice suit, too.
Wait, is that a saber tooth? Is that what that is? Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, to keep a very long story short, was playing Ark Survival Evolved, and we had an artist in the crew, and this is what became my character, the Sabertooth Tiger. That's black and white.
So we're calling that a tiger. Okay. All right.
I can show you the original image.
I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of tigers. I don't know. But, this trans society we have, if that's a trans tiger.
No, it's a chibi black and white tiger. It's basically cartoon tiger.
It's more like a saber-toothed tabby cat is kind of what it gives me the vibe.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Yeah. Yep. Hold on. I'll pull up the original. I think I got it in my Google Drive somewhere. You guys continue chatting.
Well, actually, since we're nearing the end of the line here, because it's almost my beauty sleep time, and I know everybody just heard you tell Stephen what's going on. You got anything going on in the future? You got any fun guests going to be on your show popping in?
Well, it looks like I'm going to be reaching out to the R-rated conservative here this week. He'll be coming up here. I've got guest friend of Jack Stalker's is going to be coming on this week here. I actually did have one other topic I wanted to bring up for you if you want.
Oh, please. Yes, I remember you did say something about that. Hit me with it.
So, my state, Wisconsin, is currently in the process of putting a constitutional amendment in place to eliminate Governor Evers' ability to have a line item veto, and every other governor coming forward to line item veto, because he totally screwed them on a budget and reallocated the money that they would have spent on the lines he vetoed into the schools.
Get rid of the line item veto. Great. I hate those things.
Well, see, I'm on the other side of that because I like the idea, especially on the budget. I want to expand the line item veto.
I want to set up a balanced budget amendment that forces them to have a balanced budget every year, no matter what.
I'd like to see that too.
Yeah,
based on the tax revenue of the previous year.
That would be a nice dream world to live in. I mean, I'm just saying.
So I guess my question is, what do you think? Sewell already put his point out there, but what do you think on the line item veto? What are the pros and cons do you see?
Well, I understand the necessity of it because, simply put, nothing is perfect, right? And there are things that just, especially when it comes to a budget, there are things where you're just going to have, no, we got to cut this. It's got to go back to the drawing board, but we can't hold up the budget, right? We can't, these are the kind of things that stall out a government. So the line item veto adds some expediency to these processes, in my opinion. Do I think that it should be used willy-nilly? No. I think that there should be, forethought to it to some extent.
And yet it will be.
But I don't.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I agree with that. I understand. I don't agree that it should happen. I'm just saying I know it will. But on the flip side, I don't agree with any anybody saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of this because it didn't turn out the way we wanted this time around."
Which is what Wisconsin Republicans are doing right now.
Right.
I'm kind of disappointed in them.
That I have a problem with. Okay, so the way the system is set up didn't work out in our favor. Let's change the system. I mean, sounds like something that should go to the people for a vote. See, this is one of those things that I really.
Here's how it has to work in our system, or in our state. The Senate just passed the amendment bill. It has to go through the House in the state, or the state assembly rather, not the House. So it has to go through the assembly. Then we have a referendum on it. Then it comes back and it has to pass both chambers again. So we will get to vote on it.
Okay, so the people can shut that down one way or the other, right? They can either shut down the line item. Okay, so as long as the people are going to get a say in this, that's the most important thing to me. If it's going to be allowed to just go in and change, I have a problem with that. It's like saying, okay, I don't like this amendment in the Constitution. Let's just change it arbitrarily because it didn't help us this time around, or it didn't speak to what we wanted to have happen right now. That's almost as willy-nilly as overusing the line item veto, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that or not. I mean, you see the value in it?
I like it for budgets. Because they're throwing all kinds of pork into a budget, or an omnibus, because we've never had a budget federally. They're throwing all kinds of pork in there in order to force people on board to get passed. So for a president to be able to come in and line item veto it back out, A, we could cut spending in a hurry by doing that, but B, that gives more control and gives us a path to going back to single item bills rather.
And then you have a president that line item vetoes Social Security. Like a fucking mad lad.
Please.
Or welfare checks.
Well, is that necessarily a bad thing? I don't know.
To me, no. The system's so fucked, I'm never going to see it.
Yeah.
So I prefer not paying it.
But here's something to chew on before we start leaving our... where we can find us out on the end of this, is that this has actually been ruled unconstitutional already, because both chambers passed this and it went to Clinton's desk and he passed it as well. So it was a bipartisan thing, and then Democrats in New York State went back and challenged it, took it up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court struck it down as unconstitutional.
Yep.
1996.
So unless we get an amendment to do it, which I doubt we will.
No, not in this divisive political climate.
Are they hoping to can you set new precedents then? Are we in a day and age?
Well, we've got a different court now, so yeah, they can go ahead and rehear it again.
See, there's where it always comes down to anyway.
But the case would have to come forward from down from the people.
Right.
Well, more specifically, they would have to repass it, then it would have to be challenged again.
Right.
AKA what FDR did after threatening to pack the courts.
And they're threatening to do that too.
Yep. So another reason why we should stick with Republicans, because damn it, the other side is trying to completely break everything.
But see, now, this is an excellent example of, but this is a state, this is states' rights, a state trying to rule itself, govern itself, this kind of thing, it's like, even on a state level, they don't fucking get it right all the time. I mean, they just don't, it's this idea that we can ever have somebody getting it right is going to be a failure.
And it is just a partisan thing here too, because the same people were sitting in the same assembly when Scott Walker was governor here, and they had no problem with line item veto when Scott Walker was governor. They just don't like Evers, and I don't care for Evers either, but there's better ways to go about this.
Well, when it's all said and done, the Democrats are showing right now that it's okay to beat a dead horse. It's okay.
They're also showing withdrawal symptoms of power loss. It's a fucking drug to them, man.
The entire way that politics is carried out, I believe, is in the middle of a very major transition right now. Donald Trump not necessarily being the reason, but Donald Trump and the deeper divisiveness between Republicans and Democrats than we've had in even in the building division over the last 20 to 30 years. It is at a critical point now. We're reaching critical mass, and it's going to completely revamp the landscape in politics and how we proceed forward. And
Well,
I'm not sure
what
if
was
I
it,
should be
Tim?
nervous or not.
Tim Pool kind of put it best. If the media was honest about the whole Trump thing, and there was some bipartisan gerfangling back and forth where they actually did work with each other, Trump would be considered a moderate Republican president.
Mm-hmm.
Just has an ego on him. That's what he would literally be called. Just an ego-driven moderate president.
Well, I will ask this because something that was, I was looking at the Donald Trump Jr. interview on The View, and there was something that was pointed out that I remember having been said when Obama was elected, and Mitch McConnell said, "We're going to make sure you're only a one-term president." Basically, the Republicans were going to try and do whatever they could to get him. So why is it?
Because why
did they not go to the same level?
Because they were talking about the elect by the ballot. They also said that they would never. They also said behind closed doors they would never impeach Obama.
No,
Even
you
though-
would be nailed to the cross for that.
Yeah, unless the media was honest about the scandals Obama had, he would have been the media would have nailed his ass to the cross. If they were honest.
I still think you would have been nailed to the cross for impeaching the first black president.
Well, let me.
Yeah, but the first black president kind of executed Americans without a trial, and let guns go into Mexico that directly led to the deaths of multiple Americans, as well as tons of Mexicans, which arguably is an act of fucking war, as well as IRS scandal, using intelligence agencies against the press. Look, take your fucking pick. Obama could be impeached for it.
He could be. You are absolutely right about that. But also keep in mind the fact that if Republicans came together and tried to impeach him, all of that folly and talk about the R next to Republicans' name standing for racist would suddenly become the front page of the headline news. Obama knew that he was invincible.
I'm saying that if the media was honest, they wouldn't go down that road. Because if they reported honestly on this, they would be calling for his impeachment because of all the illegal shit he did.
He was invincible, and he knew it.
Is it
Yeah.
so? Then I'll put it out. Then let me ask you this, Ed. Was Obama's race very specifically the reason why all of the scandal that could have been presented throughout his presidency wasn't? I mean, was it that controlled?
Oh, it was that, and to try and paint the Republicans as a neo-Nazi, racially divided party.
Remember, every single Republican president, since Reagan, the Democrats have muttered about impeachment every single time.
Oh, it's gone back. It's not been since Reagan. It's been
Since before Nixon, maybe. Look, one entire side of the United States has manipulated the media, has manipulated the people through the media to make it seem like they're the good guys in history. Why is it always seeming when Democrats fuck up, oh, that was Republicans because the party swapped? It didn't happen. The swaps never happened.
Oh,
Sure,
everybody knows that they switched in 1967. Just ask any journalist out there.
Even though only one Democrat out of hundreds made the switch. And it took, what was it, 20 years for the South to start voting red for Republican, as they became less racist over time.
So, Trump is the reason why the Republican Party decided to stop being cucks. Ultimately, it's because
effectively he's fighting back.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
He's kind of like their bodyguard, as it were. If you've ever seen that movie, it's an older one, but he's their hero. Now they can all stand up and fight back. Now that they've got somebody at the forefront to lead.
He's not the hero they deserve. He's the hero they need.
Right. All right. So maybe the Republican Party will grow a backbone. Who knows?
Well, the trick is, one, they can't cave to the Democrats, but I think enough Republicans at this point know that there is no being friends with the media. They've tried it for 50 years, and the media has always tried to crucify them.
And
so,
additionally, on that, they know also that turning their back on Trump in a lot of their districts means they can never go home. They're going to have to go live in New York, where they're going to be crucified over and over again for having an R next to the name.
Basically, they are doing everything they can to keep their special interest buddies happy at the end of the day, and that's all they can do at this point. Otherwise, they back Trump. They literally have no choice anymore. And sure, you got guys like Romney, but Romney is like the old guard. He is where McCain's spirit has gone.
Yeah, you don't throw that name out there. That's nobody even likes that name. Just don't even.
Romney?
Yeah.
McCain?
McCain I can live with.
Ryan
McCain,
at this point.
McCain,
Well, what was it? Remember what killed what was it? McCain in the end was the conservatism that he didn't let out. It turned into cancer and took him out. His conservatism took a bullet for America.
Nice. Well, on that note, so Ed, I appreciate you jumping in and filling John's shoes. I know that they might be a little bit smelly, but that's I try and get him to use odor eaters. What can you do? He says it's a boomer thing.
It's the Irish thing in him.
Seawalls, thanks for dropping by and rolling
No
your
problem.
half track through. It's good to.
Hey, if you guys want to get in the back, we can go get some ice cream.
Nice, I like that. I'm too old for ice cream at this time of night. What can I say?
Okay, then whiskey.
Folks,
There you go.
if you're still out there with us, hit the like button if you've liked what you're hearing. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are going to get the hell out of here. Don't forget, on December the 6th, we are going to be having the first annual holiday charity stream by the Generational Gap, and we're going to be going from 12 to 12 with lots of, let's call it fun and excitement. Those are good words to use. We'll even attempt to live up to that because, we're special in that way.
Okay. John will live up to it. Rob, jury's still out on you.
Yeah.
Well, if his internet stays good.
Right. Because Because, at least I stay connected, right? That's all that really matters.
Yeah. Also, don't worry, you've got me. I can fill not Rob's shoes. John's shoes. I can fill John's shoes.
Right,
I'm just a little bit more half tracky than him.
I was just going to say, I don't wear shoes, dude. Shoes harsh my mellow. God.
Get out of here, you hippie boomer.
Right. Yeah, that's me, man. But anyway, so we'll get the hell out of here. Don't forget, we'll be back on Monday night for the next Shooting the Shit episode. It will probably be John and I, but if not, I'll scramble for a co-host once again and see who I can drum up. Then we'll be back next Friday again for our regular episode. And again, we can expect John to be there. But, Ed, I love that you're there for me, pal. You guys have yourselves a great night. We're going to get the hell out of here. And peace out, everyone. Oh, by the way, look down below. All the links, all the numbers, all those things, they're down there. Call us on our cell or our pager. Our pager number's down there. Yes, you can reach us on our pager. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.